Today we're taking a look at these NHL matches, which are happening on Monday, April 24, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. New Jersey Devils vs Rangers. The offense was good for the Rangers this season. New York ranked 12th in goals per game and 16th in shots per game. Artemi Panarin led the team with 92 points. Mika Zibanejad led the Rangers with 39 goals, and he had 91 points. Vincent Trocheck had 64 points, and Chris Kreider had 54 points. The offense was red hot in this series in games 1 and 2 for the Rangers. They scored 5 goals in each of the series' first 2 games. The offense cooled off in Game 3, scoring just 1 goal in the loss. The Rangers lead the playoff series 2-1. Both the Devils and the Rangers have not won a home game yet in this series. New York is hoping to change that in Game 4 and take a 3-1 series lead. Igor Shesterkin has been very good in the net in this series. He allowed 1 goal in each of the first 2 games of the playoff series and 2 goals in Game 3. The offense struggled mightily in Games 1, 2, and 3 of the series for New Jersey. The Devils scored 1 goal in each of the series' first 2 games and 2 goals in Game 3. The offense was red hot in this series in Games 1 and 2 for the Rangers. They scored 5 goals in each of the series' first 2 games. New York has looked like the better team in this series. Playing at home in Game 4, the Rangers will win the game and take a 3-1 series lead. Take the Rangers on the money line. The offense struggled mightily in Games 1, 2, and 3 of the series for New Jersey. The Devils scored 1 goal in each of the series' first 2 games and 2 goals in Game 3. Igor Shesterkin has been very good in goals so far this series. He allowed 1 goal in each of the first 2 games of the playoff series and 2 goals in Game 3. New York struggled offensively in Game 3, scoring just 1 goal. Game 4 will be another lower scoring game between the Devils and Rangers. The under will hit in Game 4. Take the under, 5.5 goals. Toronto Maple Leafs vs Tampa Bay Lightning. The Toronto Maple Leafs have been on fire in the last 2 games of this series with 11 goals, including an overtime winner in Game 3, and if they want to give themselves their best chance yet at breaking the 19-year first-round victory drought, then a Game 4 win puts them purely in the driver's seat. In their past 4 games played on the road, the Maple Leafs have come away with a 4-0 record, as well as being 4-1 in their past 5 games following a win, so while it's tough to count Tampa Bay out, the Maple Leafs are looking at their very best right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning have been to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, and throughout that time, this veteran core has shown toughness and resiliency, so even after back-to-back losses, there's no one in the world that should be counting out Andrei Vasilevsky and this talented squad. With that being said, however, the Lightning are currently 2-6 in their past 8 overall games, as well as being 2-5 in their past 7 games against teams with a winning percentage over .600, so while they've got the talent, they may just be outmatched in this series. This is arguably the toughest series of all the great first-round matchups to predict, as it pits 2 of the toughest and most talented teams in the entire NHL against each other, and as we've seen through 3 games, absolutely anything can happen. In the past 5 matchups between these Atlantic Division rivals, the Maple Leafs have come away with a 4-1 record, and while that's an impressive feat against a powerhouse Lightning squad, it doesn't mean anything is guaranteed. However, this Leafs team appears to be up to the challenge after years of playoff failure, so expect them to take a commanding lead in this series on Monday night. Our team pick is Toronto money line. While it's tough to see who will come out on top in this battle, one thing that appears to be certain is that these 2 offensive units have been at their very best through 3 games, and with the over sitting at 13-3 in the past 16 matchups and 9-0 in the past 9 games in Tampa Bay, so expect more of the same here. For Toronto, the over sits at 8-1 in their past 9 conference quarterfinal matchups, and for the Lightning, the over sits at 7-1 in their past 8 overall games, so no matter who wins here, it will be the overpowering talent offensively that leads the way. Keep it simple, take the over. Colorado Avalanche vs Seattle Kraken. In the regular season, Seattle averaged 3.52 goals per game and gave up an average of 3.07 goals per game. Darren McCann led the club with 40 goals and 70 points, and his assist in Game 3 was his first point of the playoffs. Matty Beniers ranked second on the team with 24 goals, and he lit the lamp in the last game, which was his first goal of the playoffs. Both C. Morgan Geekie and Andrei Burakovsky are out for this big game. In the regular season the Kraken were 20-17-4 at home, and they have lost 8 of their last 9 games facing a team with a winning percentage above .600. In the regular season, Colorado averaged 3.34 goals per game and gave up an average of 2.72 goals per game. Mikko Rantanen ranked 3rd in the league this season with 55 goals and in the 3 playoff games, has 3 goals and assist. Nathan MacKinnon ranked 5th in the league with 111 points, 42 goals 69 assists, and he has 2 goals and an assist in the playoffs. In the regular season the Avs had the best road record, 29-11-1 in the Western Conference. After winning the last 2 games of this series the Avalanche have the momentum on their side. They have scored 9 goals in the last 2 games and lit up the Kraken for 6 goals in the last game. I look for Seattle to play better defense in this game, but I also look for Colorado to be better on the defensive side of the ice. Seattle had their chances in Game 3 with 6 power play chances, but only came away with 1 goal. They will struggle to score in this game, and while they will play good D, they will not totally shut down the Avs' attack. This game will be more of a defensive one than the last one, and Colorado will get the close win and take a commanding 3-1 series lead. Take the Avalanche. In the last game of this series, the total went over, but the first 2 games went under, and that is the pick I am leaning toward in this game. Both teams have a solid attack, but I look for each to play a better defensive game than the last one where there were 10 goals scored. The Avalanche have the momentum in this series, and they will put the pressure on playing a solid defensive game. Seattle will do the same, and with both teams playing good D in a close game the under is the pick. Take the under 6 goals. Vegas Golden Knights vs Winnipeg Jets. Vegas has had success on both ends of the ice. They've scored an average of 3.26 goals per game, the 14th most in the NHL, on an average of 31.5 shots per game. They've generated the 16th most expected goals, 3.18 per game, and the 10th most high danger shots in the league. The Knights have scored on 20.3% of their power play opportunities. They're led in scoring by Jack Eichel, 66 points, Jonathan Marchessault, 28 goals, and Chandler Stevenson, 48 assists. Eichel has played in 476 regular season games in the NHL, and tonight he will finally start in the first playoff game of his career. Vegas also announced a huge addition to their lineup this week, activating captain Mark Stone from the long-term IR, with the salary cap no longer existing in the playoffs. The Jets have struggled offensively this season, scoring the 12th fewest goals in the NHL, an average of 3 goals per game, on an average of 30.3 shots per game. They've generated the 13th most expected goals, 3.24 per game, and the 16th most high danger shots in the league. Winnipeg has scored on 19.3% of their power play chances, the 10th fewest in the NHL. They're led in scoring this season by Kyle Connor, 80 points, Mark Scheifele, 42 goals, and Josh Morrissey, 60 assists. The Golden Knights got this series back on track in Game 2, bouncing back from their Game 1 loss, and then took the series lead on Saturday night in Game 3 in Winnipeg with a win on the road. That should not have been as close as the score indicated as they were the much better team and blew a 4-1 lead in the 3rd period, but still managed to get the win. Vegas is the better team in this matchup and I give them a huge edge offensively. I expect that to shine through the rest of this series after they had their dud of a game in Game 1 and continue to win. The Knights have scored the 14th most goals in the NHL, having generated the 16th most expected goals and the 10th most high danger shots in the league. Meanwhile, Winnipeg has scored the 12th fewest goals in the NHL, having generated the 13th most expected goals and the 16th most high danger shots in the league. Take the Knights to take a 3-1 series lead on the road. I'm expecting the games between these teams to trend under, with 2 good defenses and the Jets really struggling offensively. Both teams have trended under on the regular season, with the under going 51-24-7 in Jets games and 42-35-5 in Knights games. The first game in this series was a push, and although the second and third went over, and I expect tonight's game to hit the under. The Golden Knights have allowed just the 11th fewest goals in the NHL, having given up the 5th fewest expected goals and the 6th fewest high danger shots in the league. Winnipeg has been good defensively as well, allowing the 10th fewest goals in the NHL, having given up the 15th fewest expected goals and the 8th fewest high danger shots in the league. The Jets have struggled offensively as well, having scored the 12th fewest goals in the NHL. Take the under here.